Hi everyone, welcome to Outgrow's Market of the Month. I am your host, Dr. Saksham Sharda. I'm the creative director at outgrow.co. And for this month, we are going to interview Alex Merutka, who is the CEO and founder at Craftsmen Plus. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, we're going to start with a rapid fire round just to break the ice. Try to keep your answers to one word or one sentence only, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So, the first question is, how long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
About 2 minutes.
Okay. Pick one, Mark Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey.
Zuck.
Uh-huh. The first movie that comes to your mind when I say the word ambition.
The Matrix.
Okay. Okay. The biggest mistake of your career.
Probably not investing in a few companies that I probably should have, and not letting go of people when there's that thought in my mind.
Ah, well, yeah. We're all guilty of that. And I hope you didn't mean GameStop. Anywho, how do you relax?
I meditate.
Okay. How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
0.
Okay. A habit of yours that you really hate.
Grinding my teeth.
Ah, my dad does that all the time. Okay. The most valuable skill you've learned in life.
Just to the way you perceive the world, and how you can do that to affect your attitude and your mood.
hmm The most valuable. Oh, okay. I literally just said that. Fill in the blank. An upcoming marketing trend is blank.
User generated content.
hmm And the final question is your favorite Netflix show.
That's a good question. I was just talking about um, one this morning, and I am forgetting it, so it can't be that good. But I like The Last Kingdom on Netflix.
Which one again?
The Last Kingdom.
Oh, The Last Kingdom. Okay. Well, that's the end of the rapid fire round. You scored 100 upon 100. So now we're going to go on to the bigger questions. The first one is tell us about how Craftsman Plus happened and what do you hope for your company to achieve, say, in the next 5 years?
Yep. I was working at a startup called App11, and I was running the programmatic business for them. And the company was, running $1 billion of ad spend through the platform. And I guess just seeing the trends of how ads were changing from, especially on mobile devices, from static creative to more engaging platforms and channels such as video, and even furthermore, this recent trend of interactive ads. So, a lot of our partners were in the gaming world and worked with a lot of the mobile game developers, and seeing how there's a few companies out there that were tinkering with playable interactive ads. So actually being able to demo something before you download it. And this concept was pretty interesting to me. A few of the early companies were kind of struggling, and as phone devices got the technology in phone devices got better, and with the release of 5G now, it seemed like this trend had a lot of room to grow, especially with gaming companies coming out with AR games like Pokemon Go. More interactivity seemed to be the trend, and so I saw I saw this trend, and wanted to find a way of how can I get this in the hands of more gaming companies, and as brands decide to get into more gamified ads, wanted to build a gaming software interactive platform that allowed brands to build their own interactive ad units. Where do I see this going in the next 5 years? Continuing down that mission, potentially doing more like AI components on the ads. So with the new releases of analytics on platforms, Facebook, Google, Snapchat, passing more data signals back on what's working, what's not on creative units, being able to actually optimize these interactive ads in real time. And since they're all code based, it makes it a little bit easier to swap in and out assets within those HTML5 ads. So where I see it going is building an AI component, building one playable concept or interactive concept for a brand, and then allowing these ads to be uh, changed based on performance and edited and optimized based on what the big machines are telling them what's working, what's not.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. I have a lot of follow-ups. What did you mean
Yep.
by downloading something without downloading? And the second thing is, what do you think of? Because you said everything is moving towards interactive. What did you think of Netflix's Band The Snatch? Because that interactive movie.
Yep. Yep. So we basically built our ad platform off of Bandersnatch. I bring it up in every meeting when I explain the company, and I mention, have you ever seen Bandersnatch? And essentially taking video clips, and that's what our software does. It takes existing assets, and in Bandersnatch case, video clips, and stitches them together based on user agency. So if you're Call of Duty and you're running an ad, instead of just running one video with shot scenes of sniper rifle, bazooka, shotgun, assault rifle, you could just have an ad that says, "Hey, user, now you can play Call of Duty now on your phone. What player type are you? Are you more of a sniper or a shotgun type user?" And then based on the user's choice, serve them video content based on their own interests. So kind of personalizing ad creative based on user agency, and especially with these data privacy policies coming in from Apple and Google, and some of these companies following suit. It makes sense just to give the users, instead of trying to target them perfectly. You can never target someone perfectly. There's always going to be some sort of unknown factor of decision making that the user is going to make in that moment. And why not just give people the choice to pick what they want? So our platform is essentially Bandersnatch for an ad platform. So I really enjoyed the film, and it's helped my business grow a lot, just from an example and relating to it. And what I meant about play before you download is, you can watch a video of, you can see, everyone knows Candy Crush. You can see a static ad that says download Candy Crush. You can watch a video of someone else playing Candy Crush. But what if you could actually play Candy Crush in the ad itself, so that you personally get an idea of what a match 3 game mechanic looks like? And it's kind of like when you buy a car, you can see a car in a magazine, you can watch a car drive around in the desert on the Super Bowl ad. But when you buy the car is when you actually sit in it, drive around the block, and then you get a feel for it, you like it, you purchase. So what we've noticed is, if we can get users to experience brands' products, and whether it's a gaming company and you front load the game mechanic on the ad, or it's a brand and you're saying, hey, instead of having a video that drives to a website, why don't we try to shorten the funnel post click by front loading the user experience on the ad itself, getting them through the funnel further on the actual ad itself, so that when they do click, post click conversion rates skyrocket because they're already pre qualified.
But these wouldn't, I guess, be in-stream ads, because I guess, can Instagram support, like, if I'm going down my Instagram feed? Because I've seen these ads, right? Well, not the interactive ones. I've seen, like, these gaming ads, but it's usually someone playing. But is it possible for you to play while you're scrolling down Instagram? Is that an inbuilt functionality that we're looking at in the future, or is it already there?
It's already there for Facebook feed and Facebook Audience Network. It's coming to Instagram soon.
Okay. Okay. So then diverting to another question then. With the pandemic, everything has shifted online, and the video industry specifically is changing the game. How do you think this particular industry will expand in the coming years?
I mean, everything's pointing towards gaming,
Mm.
which has been awesome for us and my previous company. Uh, as more users spend time on games, as more people adopt gaming, as games get better, as games become more educational, there's a lot of even social impact with gaming now, and how to change the world through gaming and make the world a better place, and more case studies coming out and research showing that gaming is actually helping with child development, brain development, releasing stress is a big factor lately, and a big focus for the gaming industry. I think a lot of, like, with the natural shift of COVID, and people focusing more on gaming industry has seen a huge spike and boom from COVID, and folks being at home more, playing games on their phone. I think more and more brands will follow suit, and you already are seeing, Travis Scott doing a concert in Fortnite. You already see different types of industries trying to get involved with gaming. We're seeing a huge spike increase from all brands looking at how to gamify their product offering, and how to make it more fun, how to make it engaging, and realizing that the gaming audience isn't just a bunch of nerds sitting in a basement eating, bagel bites anymore. Like that's not what gaming is today. And it's a misconception, and it's clearly showing now that the most people's audiences are somewhere they're going to be on a game somewhere. So I think brands are recognizing that and starting to take notice. And I think these gaming companies are well positioned and historically have been undervalued for what they have to offer the industry. And now they're starting to get that recognition, and as are we.
And where do you think the future of gaming itself is headed? Because I completely get you. Because even I play at least every day just to de stress from work. I play an hour of Heroes of the Storm, which is a Blizzard game. I don't know whether you heard of it. And it is really like, frustration relieving in a sense. But I'm a big gamer and I bought the Oculus Rift, which came out last year, Oculus Quest 2, sorry. And but I've only played it like for a month and now it just lies in the corner. And I don't think virtual reality is there yet, or maybe it's not as comfortable to play virtual games as it is to just like, play on your laptop. What do you think?
Yeah, I think any of those like bigger type of production units, like an Oculus, where you're like immersed in experiences, is a fun thing to have, and it's kind of like having a jet ski, where you have like once you own a jet ski and you're riding around and been on it, it's fun for 10, 15 minutes, but you don't want to be on your like most people I know at least don't want to be on their jet ski every single day. And they much rather be on a comfortable sitting on a boat relaxing, or just chilling at their house. It's a little bit different. So I feel like these virtual reality devices are awesome, and I think a lot of people will engage with them. And I have a few friends that play to do their kind of cardio workout to hand-eye coordination, and they're doing it maybe a half hour a day. I don't see it as a platform right now, at least, that's going to get someone to engage the way that like World of Warcraft used to do back in the day, or still does now. And some of these games that are on PCs and console games that can kind of get you into a gaming rift for a bit. And I also just think with mobile, for like casual players or even myself, I used to play a little bit of Xbox here and there, and now my Xbox has been sitting in my closet for years. And if I do play in a game, it's just easier for me to open up my phone and access it that way. And so I've seen my gaming behaviors have shifted more to mobile.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. Pivoting once again, you have some big names in your bucket of clients like Nike, ABC. What do you think you did right with your product itself and in your marketing campaigns to land all of this?
Yeah, definitely persistency and just reaching out and staying relevant with these folks. I think our partnerships with the Facebook and Google team are a big part of our success. So, working with the largest platforms, most of our advertisers spend 70 to 80% of their budget or their digital budget on Facebook and Google. And so when we started building the company, that was kind of our first area to crack, is how do we make ads better on Facebook and Google? And so when we reached out to Facebook and Google and said, hey, we're on this mission to make ads perform better on your platforms. Do you guys want to have a conversation about this? Here's kind of our idea of where we're headed. They welcome the idea. Anyone who's challenging the way ads are being built, and having a promise to, hey, what if we could take the video format and make it more engaging? I mean, video has been the dominant format in the mobile space for the last 10 years, and it's clearly been the winner. And trying to challenge that concept, whoever can crack that and make a different ad unit perform better in the same ad space, right? Facebook's newsfeed, you can serve a static ad, a video ad, or an interactive ad. It's the same level of ad space that you're getting on that platform. If you can monetize that space better and more efficiently, then of course you're going to want to do it. So when we told Facebook and Google our mission, and they said, yeah, we want to help you with it. What do you need from us? Getting product support from their team was big, but also their intros. I mean, most of our clients, we don't have a sales team. There's no one in the business that's doing outbound sales outreach. It's all coming from word of mouth, from friends in the industry, or from our Facebook and Google partners.
That's amazing. I also heard how YouTube is actively investing in interactive videos. Like that's the big new thing. So I guess you're just going in with the trend. That's quite nice. So could you give us an example of an interactive advertisement that you guys have made for a client that has done really well?
Yeah, we just did one. You mentioned ABC. So for ABC, like sweepstakes, we did one where you are running around a mall or a grocery store with a shopping cart, and you're, kind of like the old from the old TV series of running around and trying to collect as many items in the cart for the highest score in the shopping cart. So like recreating that experience and in a gamified like 8-bit type of gaming look and feel, and running around the store and driving folks to check out this new show um, that was being offered by ABC. It was a quick turnaround time. Team worked really hard. The ABC team was great to work with and share ideas and bounce things off of, and just kind of challenging, what is really capable in these ad units, because there is some things that hold these units back, such as file size, and so trying to figure out the most interactive and engaging way you can host this experience, but also confined to a certain amount of megabytes, depending on what platform we're running.
And is there somewhere the audience can, as in our podcast audience, can go and check out this ad? Is it like available online somewhere?
It may be on ABC site. I would have to get back to you on that if there's a place they can do it. Usually going on Facebook's library, their ad library, you can see these types of
Hmm.
ads. The issue is Facebook hasn't updated it, so you can see the interactive units. You can only see typically videos and static units. But I would have to get back to you on that if there's a place out there hosting this.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes for everyone who's listening to check out the ABC ad. That's really great. So when one is, because Outgrow is also an interactive content making software, and usually when people use our interactive content and their audience uses it, there's a lot of data, that the marketing data that the company that is running the ad is gathering based on how people are going through that interactive ad. So what do you think about that side of the ads that you're making for ABC and Nike, etc.?
Yeah, do you mind? I feel like you actually cut out for a second. Do you mind repeating that?
Oh, well, that was literally, I thought. So, Outgrow is also an interactive content making agency. So, the company I work for. And usually when someone takes an interactive content piece like a quiz or a calculator, or even Band The Snatch, for instance, when one watches Band The Snatch, one is making certain decisions, which I assume in your ads they're making those decisions. So marketing data is being collected by the person who's running the ad. How are you using that marketing data to optimize the
Yeah.
ads? What is the purpose of that?
Yep. So a lot of the times when we work with folks, we aren't actually running the media. We are just the creative software that kind of fuels the creativity in the ad unit. And so typically our process is we work with someone, we work with a brand, we build this interactive unit, we share it with the brand, and then they will run the actual ad on Facebook and Google. Historically, these platforms have not shared data back, so it's kind of you're running blind a little bit on the ad unit for at least on
Mm,
ad analytics. As of lately, more and more platforms and inventory sources are open to passing back this data and creating a structure where you can pull in from an API what's actually happening on the ads themselves, and thus informing futuristic decisions on how to optimize what color scheme, what intro do you start with. And that's kind of where, with now this data being passed back, this is where when you ask me where the company is headed in the next 5 years, we're seeing this trend that this data is going to be passed back for most platforms, and when that is complete, we'll be plugging that in to one of our systems so that we can essentially allow a brand to upload all their brand assets, all their colors and backgrounds and logos and fonts and copy and characters, etc., and basically create these smart objects within the interactive unit, and then allow folks to automatically optimize their playables based on our system going through and figuring out, what type of correlations there are between all their ads they're running, what color schemes are, in trend or in season right now, based on performance, and what characters are getting the most clicks on the intro, the outro, and essentially just building a concept or like a playable interactive template, allowing all those pieces to be moving within the playable and interactive unit based on what the brand selects as their assets, and then based on performance data, swapping all those in and out like automatically, so that all the brand has to do is work with us to approve the concept and the idea, upload their assets, all their raw assets into our asset library, and then we'll handle all the swaps and optimizations to make the unit perform the best.
So ideally, it's just like making the whole process very super efficient so that, there's constant feedback coming in, which I think kind of gels in with what I think the ideal of the information age is to make the economy more and more information driven and, super efficient. And I really like that. The next question is, you recently expanded your business to Europe. How did you manage to do that in a COVID hit economy? And what should entrepreneurs take care of most when entering a new market?
Yep. So I would say the number one thing to know is know what you don't know. And so when going into Europe, I didn't know anything about the business practices and laws out there. So we asked our legal team to connect us to someone, and they made an intro to a team out in the UK. The team that I assembled out there, I've known these folks. I'd say if you ever are expanding into another geo, you want to get people in that area that are locals that understand the culture, the look and feel, even if they're both English speaking countries. I think it definitely matters to have English people working for your team in the UK. Um, and the way we did it was I've been talking to a few of the team members that we assembled for years now. We kind of kicked things off as a friendship, kept the conversation alive, watched their careers grow and expand, and it was only a matter of time before sometimes you just meet people and you're going to work together with them at some point, and it's just about timing. When the timing made sense, I knew exactly who to call to kind of bring the team together. And then I relied on the few people I trusted over in the UK to essentially hire out the rest of the office. So I would say, not just delegating to your team, but elevating them and saying, these are areas I don't know about. You guys have a lot more experience here. I trust, a few of the team members to make those decisions on who else we need there and how to hire and who, they've worked with in the past that they like. I think culture is extremely important in any organization. We're Craftsman's very much a culture first type of company. And so we brought them on, we let them make the decisions on, who do they want to bring in and why, and trusting in them that we're bringing together special people and a good team to go find success, expanding, not just across the US, but all of EMEA and eventually APAC.
And where do you want to head after Europe? Is there a plan for that?
Definitely, yeah. So I think China is a big market for us. Japan is probably one of our biggest markets. China, Japan, Korea. So eventually we'll get local offices in all three. We'll probably start with one office, maybe in Singapore, and create a hub out there, and then eventually get country managers for Japan, Korea, and China.
All right. And how do you feel about the Forbes 30 under 30 achievement?
I was surprised. So usually those things are something that you kind of like hear about. It sounds like a fun goal that you want to do. I mean, my mom was always really encouraging and believed in me and had a lot of faith that I would do something great in my life. She raised me well, and props to her for helping me get through school and everything she did for me. And it was my last year. My advisor kind of threw my hat in the ring. We didn't really know anyone at Forbes. We kind of just he sent over the referral. I spent probably more time on my Forbes application than I did my university applications, if I'm being honest. And it was a huge shocker. I didn't know when they announced. I woke up one morning and got an Instagram message from a friend just saying, "Hey, congrats on Forbes" at 7:01 a.m. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I checked my email. There was no notification. And so I was like, maybe this is a mistake. This seems, unreal. And then, I Googled it, and, it was definitely shocking. So I was, very, very appreciative and fortunate to make that list, and then meeting a lot of great people through it.
It's nice. And the final question is, what would you be doing if not this?
If not Craftsman,
If not Craftsman, yeah.
I'd say I still like being. I'm actually one of the weird ones that likes my industry. I think ad tech in general gets gets a weird rep because we're not really saving the world, and I recognize that at least at this point. But I'd probably be doing something similar in the ad tech space. Maybe around more machine learning and AI, and really diving into a product along those two lines and figuring out how to apply it to the rest of the industry. I still like being close to gaming, so I'd probably stay in that realm. And then long term, I want to encourage other founders and inspire people. So long term is going to be more just helping mass amounts of people get inspired and do things they thought they could never do.
That's what they say. Once an ad tech man, always an ad tech man. So that is, well, that's the end of the interview. Thanks everyone for joining us for this month's episode of Outgrows Market of the Month. That was Alex Merutka, who is the CEO and founder at Craftsmen Plus. Do check out their website for more details. Thanks, Alex, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Do check out their website, and we'll see you once again next month with another Market of the Month.